Ladies and gentlemen, there is no cause for alarm. Actually, there is cause for alarm. It just won't do any good.
Hey, loungers. I'm Billy with an IE.
And I'm Will.
Welcome to the Slay Lounge. Today we will be covering Season 1, Episode 2, The Harvest. Buffy faces her first major challenge as the Slayer. With her friends in danger and a powerful vampire plot unfolding, Buffy must navigate the dark underworld of Sunnydale. Will she be able to stop the vampire sinister plan and save her friends? We'll see. So, Will and I were chatting just a bit ago before I started recording, and he wanted to go off about something that he's been a little frustrated with, especially because we made it quite clear that it's the Buffy groups on social media that kind of get our goat a bit. That there's a lot of people who either watch the show or are just now watching the show, asking some really silly questions and doing some really silly things and making some really silly observations about the show. But one thing that seems to frustrate him is that he's trying to promote the podcast and he keeps running into walls
all the time. Like, I'm posting it to I asked permission to the groups before posting it because you're not supposed to self-promote. Like, what's the point of being in these groups? But yeah, it's like I try to get people, like, they're like, yeah, we can't wait, it'll be great, new podcast, like, it's great. And then I post about it on like 12 or 15, I don't even know how many I'm on. I'm even on like, I think Hispanic version one, just to get it out there. Like, I don't care who you are, but it's just like, okay. And then I've been talking about it a lot, and then we finally put it out there, and I had like there's like no like, no nothing, no, not even comments. Like,
yeah.
Oh, cool, I can't wait to listen. It's like, what the are people do? Like, you ask for something,
And you go to give it to them and they don't want it. You know what cracks me up? When I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see you fighting with people on the Buffy groups. Because your comments will like pop up and show me what you're saying. I think I'm actually not even in most of the groups now because after a while I was like, this is silly. But like when I'm scrolling and I see you fighting with strangers on the internet.
I'm like, because they ask the stupidest thing. Like, it's like off, and other people say the same thing. Like, dude, have you like? I just started watching the show. I watched this episode, but I don't understand this. Well, keep watching, and maybe you'll understand. Or
right.
This is my 12th time watching it. I just don't understand. Well, then you're not watching it. You're listening. You're not like watching and bringing it in. You're over here like, oh yeah, watch Buffy. No.
Or there's something like maybe when they watch, they only fixate on a part of the story in general and not really looking at the whole thing as a whole, you know? Because like every time I watch it, I always see something new every time. Right.
Every time.
Right.
I always get some new, like, okay, maybe it's this. And, you know, like one thing recently is like, I understand Xander because we have a whole, technically 12 seasons, but 7 on screen. And people have, and when we get to her eventually, is Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is so bad about her? Nothing.
Yeah.
I've said it so, I've always liked Kennedy, and I will always like Kennedy. I was like, is she perfect? Of course not. But she's a perfect mix of Buffy and Faith. She has the snappy attitude like Faith, like the whatever, but she can lead. And she also has that, I know this is my duty, like Buffy.
And they made her queer too, which is like,
yes,
really cool.
But they, Buffy, or Willow doesn't need to be with her. And this, I'm like,
well, that's very frustrating.
And then other things like, you know, they talk about the future of Xander and who he ends up with. And it's like, is this all we got to talk about?
I don't know. And I feel like some people watch it for different reasons. Like some people kind of see it as like a supernatural soap opera.
My thing is, I think they watch it so they can buy the shit at a Hot Topic and be like, I'm cool. No, you're not. You're an idiot. Sorry. That could be edited out. Sorry, I slipped that one. But it is. It's like you don't know the show. You didn't follow the show, and I think you're just watching it to be like to have like it's kind of like anything. I can't say what I want to say out loud, but
yeah,
it's like the whole, you know.
No, I get it. Like,
go to Vampire Diaries.
I was gonna say that's like how I am about the Vampire Chronicles. You know, Interview with the Vampire. The things that they change and then the things that people say about it, and it's just
If you want some light and fluffy, ha ha ha, go watch Twilight.
But that's my point. I think some people watch it because it's like a supernatural soap opera to them. But I don't see it that way, and you don't
No,
see it that way. I don't see it as
no,
a soap opera, so those elements don't really appeal to me, nor do I really pay attention to them.
no. I'm not a Twilight. Like, I mean, I like Twilight. I know I just said what I said about Twilight. I like Twilight. It's cool, like cool,
Hmm.
whatever. But there's a lot of about it that I'm like, it's not dark enough.
No, too. Yeah, it's not dark enough. You're right.
To love and light TikTok, haha, woohoo.
Well, moving on to some more housekeeping. So you said we got some likes and comments finally.
The second episode
Mhm.
it has 64 views. The first podcast, our first episode has 77 views. The second one got 9 likes and 4 comments.
Mhm.
Just kind of like I post it everywhere, and I tell people, yes, I don't know what goes on Spotify. I do not know anything about Spotify, so it's hard for me to like check those and check other podcasts because I'm not a part of those podcasts. I just check YouTube only. So, and that's where I send everybody. Like I mean, like, I was like, you could follow the Facebook post and do that. That's fine, cool. But I can only follow the YouTube and see what goes on there.
Well, I post things about the Spotify for my own personal Instagram, and then we have our Instagram, which I put stuff on there as well. So if anyone gets confused as to where to find us or where they can get some sort of link, you can check the YouTube, you can check the Instagram, and Pirate Core Entertainment does have their own Facebook, which they will post or make a post about what episode went out from what podcast, because there's two, I think, right now. I've not checked the website in a while, so I could be wrong. But I believe there's just two right now. More are coming, but it would be What's On Tonight with Becky Anderson, and then ours. But I know more are coming. And then also, Will and I are going to do other kinds of. We've already talked about doing something else. In fact, we might, because when the holidays officially come, because next week is Thanksgiving, we will be
This,
taking a break.
yeah.
Just for a momentary break because the holidays plus work and everything else is kind of hard to do.
I think we said this is our last one for this year, and then we'll come back in January. Is that what we agreed to?
I thought we could do one more, but if not, we will maybe surprise everyone with a third episode. Maybe. But if not, we talked about doing some Batman movies because,
Basically, what we want to tell people is like, yes, we're doing Buffy right now, but like we said, we're skipping episodes.
yes,
We're doing it almost like a fast track through it because it's one thing that we're both
it's a
jointly
huge series. So there's a lot of stuff in it that really does not need to be talked about. Not because it's uh,
unimportant.
right. Well, it's unimportant because it doesn't really pertain to the overall story, but
Yeah,
not because they're like bad or anything, but because we want to make sure that when people listen, they have a comprehensive understanding of the show and how it flows.
we don't need to go through every living detail and
Right.
everything. It's basically like in season one, there's only a handful of episodes we're going to do
Hmm.
because the other ones are very much a filler episode. So it's like there's really no point to
Right.
like talking about this and trying to get drama. We would like to get you interested in Buffy if you are not watching Buffy or haven't
Right.
watched Buffy. So this is like our thing. Like, okay, this is what you need to do if you really want to get a crash course. 'Cause everybody says, "Oh, the first season sucks. Go to the second." Well, we're going to tell you which ones you need to watch to get to the second season.
Right. And also, it's like this is what you're missing out on if you're not watching.
Yeah.
This is what you haven't gotten to, and you'll see why we like it. You'll see why we enjoy it so much. But
Yeah.
in between all that, we will be doing other projects. I have friends who are interested in doing movies. I have a friend in Brooklyn who wants to do the Alien movies. I mean, we'll do other stuff in between. We can't, we can't, sorry, we won't always commit to Buffy, but we will have Buffy episodes perpetually coming until we're done with the series.
We want to strictly stick to mostly it's like slaying as a woman in a movie.
Powerful women.
Is to stick to that because that's what we are sticking to. We're not giving a voice for women. We're not trying to talk for women. It's women that we find inspirational to us through media or
Right.
cinema.
Well, yeah, media, but media too, because sometimes there could be a comic book or
True.
whatever, and sometimes the movie won't be woman oriented, but there will be a female character of that movie that we're like, God damn, that girl is like an inspiration. You know what I mean?
And we have and there's also the Buffy books that are, I think most
Hmm.
of the authors are female. So we can talk about like the 3-part series that is the one about Willow's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's written by Kendra Blake. It's by a woman, and what we like about it and what we don't like about it, that will come way later because I had to read them all. So,
Mm-hmm.
but there are, the other books, and most of them are written by female. And if we're going to talk about it, then we'll talk about it.
Right.
Also, I think we should do maybe a Wicked.
We could. Speaking of Wicked, I got the
Elphaba.
Elphaba Starbucks cup today. I read the book in high school, and I'm not really a huge fan of the musical. Not for any particular reason. It's just musicals aren't really my thing. I like
I'm taking away your gay card.
whatever. I like specific musicals, but I do appreciate the book, and I do like that sci-fi miniseries, Tin Man,
I never watched it. I've always wanted to.
with Zoe Deschanel. Maybe we could do a Tin Man series. It's not that long. It's not that long. We could
Okay.
just
I
But
gotta
Zoe
follow.
Deschanel, I actually loved it. And then there's also all sorts of really cool, interesting actors in that series. But anyways, I've always liked The Wicked Witch. I always liked Wizard of Oz. I just like how Gregory Maguire took the time to
It's on
think,
Tubi.
yeah,
We can watch that.
yeah.
Or Peacock.
Yep. I was gonna say it's on Peacock too. So but
We
yeah,
know it.
Gregory Maguire, writer of the book, of Wicked, not the original Wizard of Oz. He I like it when authors do the thing. Okay, all right.
Can I say
Here's
one thing? Do you know how that he got the Wicked Witch's name?
how.
The original writer of Wizard of Oz, I think it's his initials.
Mhm.
He pulled, I think, the initials, and I watched the thing. Something to do with his name, the author of the original Wizard
Yeah.
of Oz. He used it to make her name. That's why it's different and weird, because not weird, but
Oh, okay.
weird in
Well,
a good way, not a weird in a
right.
bad way.
It's specific to the world that that story exists in. But
I think it's also very funny right now that I'm very Glinda in this room, and you're very.
I was just about to say that, and I was also about to say that I'm the kind of person who loves a villain, a wonderful villain. I'm always pro villain, and not because the villains represent some nefarious thing, but because I think villains are the most interesting character of a story. They have a more nuanced reason to do what they do. I would argue vehemently, I might add, that the hero kind of does things kind of automatically, haphazardly, kind of like they do it because that's what expected of them. They have these abilities, they should serve their community. While a villain, on the other hand, is doing things because of some horrible past, or they see an injustice they want to correct, and systemically they can't correct it, or something up to that effect. And I think when going forward, when we have, especially in the Buffy podcast, when we have more villains present, I will definitely probably wax poetic about the villains a bit more. Just because I think that point of view, my point of view about characters and shows and TV, etc., needs to be more emphasized. And Gregory Maguire and me are on the same vein when it comes to characters that we find interesting. He found the Wicked Witch interesting, just like I found her interesting, and he wanted to tell her story. And I think those stories are very interesting. So,
And it'll come nicely in the future with this right now, is because you'll have your perspective from the villain side, and I'll have my perspective from Buffy's side.
yep, the
And
Scooby side.
Buffy's side. Those other ones can whatever.
Well, there's not many villains in this episode. I mean, there is, but none of them that have a nuanced not yet, who have a nuanced place in the story right now, because it's still the beginning of the series. The most we get information about is Buffy, like how now she's taking on her mystic duty a bit more, even though she tried to resist it initially.
Well, there's a victim involved now, so she
Mhm.
has to. It still goes to her fitting in, like she wants to make sure she can save him
Yes,
to keep the friends, or she thinks that will keep her friends.
and the cast stays the same in this episode, besides the addition of oh gosh, oh my god,
Mercedes McNabbs.
thank you. Her name was just on the tip of my tongue because I was preparing to say it before I said it. And I forgot. But she plays Harmony.
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 We should do House Bunny.
We will. We will.
Hot
But do you
chick.
guys ever like whenever you go to say something and you have it all planned out in your mind, you're like, okay, I'm gonna say it like this and this way, and then you go to say it and it's like white, like etch a sketch brain, like etch a sketch brain. You can't remember exactly what you were about to say.
Could you
As
imagine like having an audition for something?
oh no, see that's
You're
why
like, I'm ready, and you go in, you're like, we want this. You're
yeah, that's why I
like,
couldn't be an actor. And that's like writing is so much easier for me with communication than it is speaking. Like my writing is beautiful, but when I go to orate or something like that, I can't for the life of me, you know.
I can't
So
speak.
yeah, I'm so
It has to
glad.
come naturally out of me. I can't go like paper. I'm like
Well, that's why we try to keep this like kind of free flow casual because
non-script.
yeah, well, because like if I try to do the script thing too, I'm not going to remember anything and it's going to sound really dumb. Like I'm pretty sure anyone who's listening can tell when I'm reading from something because of the way I talk. So but anyways, so yeah, we have Mercedes McNabb who plays Harmony. She's the only additional character. And then
That has like an ultimate speaking
right,
role.
right. And then also last week I said that Sprung Monkey had a song that was used for this episode. There's a scene where the vampire cult is going towards the bronze before the big fight, and um, a character who I wish had more screen time um, is dancing with Charisma Carpenter's character.
Where are you at today?
I have no idea. Like I can't.
Jesse,
Well, yes, Jesse.
Eric,
Well, I'm
eh,
talking about the Cordelia. Thank you. Oh my
yeah,
God.
Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah. Anyways, they're dancing and the vampires are coming to the bronze, and there's this song that plays that I really like. Oh my God, not that song, the one after it.
When she's dancing, she's all,
Yeah. She's like,
wow,
oh
that
my
was
God,
so hard.
she's like, oh my God, I love this song. And then she goes up off the gallery, goes down to the floor, and she's all like, her
Arms up in the
arms,
air together, like
the arms
slowly
up, the
moving,
arms up white girl dance. It's so funny. And then
barely
like,
moving,
yeah, and then
barely
the
moving.
song ends and she like,
Ah,
yeah, exactly, like sigh.
I was like, I just pulled out like a whole like the Onyx tour for Britney, and I was a backup dancer, and I just did that. No,
It's giving Hillary Duff. It's giving Hillary Duff and that
Bum, bum, bum,
yeah,
bum,
exactly.
bum,
She looks so tired.
dun, 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 dun.
You know what? And while she's doing that, she probably thought she was 8 while she's doing that.
I'm on it. Hot, yeah.
Yeah.
Better than Paris Hilton.
Well, I haven't seen that, so I couldn't say, but
Paris doesn't dance.
I mean if I had her body, I wouldn't dance either.
It's
Damn,
not.
why am I being shady all of a sudden? Okay, back to the So anyways, I was wrong. That song wasn't by Sprung Monkey. That song was actually by um Dashboard Prophets, and they actually did 2 songs for this episode. The first one being "Wearing Me Down," which I believe is that song that played when Cordelia was being weird on the dance floor, and then "Ballad for Dead Friends," which is the song that Jesse and Cordelia dance to when the vampires come to attack the bronze.
It's not like you just said Gordelia, like she's a Gordita Crunch.
We just had Taco Bell, so
Yeah.
we just had Taco
I had Fiesta potatoes with extra cheese.
Bell.
They were delicious.
Yeah,
I need that refuel. I woke up starving this morning.
yeah. Well, I've
Uh,
been busy. I've been busy today.
and I de-Halloween the house
Hmm.
and put up some fall stuff for Thanksgiving to get that back down to put Christmas up.
Hmm.
I was busy.
Well,
I'm a busy slay.
yeah. But anyways, so before we got to episode 2, the last thing we saw in episode 1 was Luke, played by Brian Thompson, getting ready to bite Buffy before it put the to be continued writing on the screen.
That's what it
Mhm.
sounds like. So yeah, so when we said in the first episode or the first episode of the season, not our very first episode, that Angel gave Buffy a cross,
Hmm.
and it was like almost like foreshadowing that she was going to need it
Hmm.
because the cross actually did protect her, because vampires in this universe react to the cross.
Right. Because as we said before, the vampires in this universe are demons. They're actual human demon hybrids.
So when the cross falls and Luke touches it with his hand, causing him to obviously pull back and react, so Buffy's able to kick him off and escape, and he does not follow her.
Mm-mm.
So she
And
makes. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's a bit perturbed by her strength because from his point of view, well, for even from Darla's point of view, they thought she was just a normal girl.
Well, they even said like when he okay, so Buffy leaves, she's able to save Willow and Xander, but Jesse gets taken by eventually find out Darla, which in like a few minutes.
Right.
But we also find out when Luke is with the Master, um, he even says he's like, she might be a and he goes, Slayer. So like most I guess well, it's also the first season, so I would assume it kind of ties into the movie when they're
Mhm.
like they can't know your name because then they'll be able to hunt you and you're not hunting them.
Right.
So like being a slayer, you have to be inconspicuous. Like you can't be. It's not like
You're
you're
not
out.
supposed to exist.
Yeah, you are a hunter and you're doing your job. So when the master says that, it's almost like, and they don't. Some vampires probably don't even know what the hell a slayer even is.
Because that's
So
their boogeyman.
yeah, it's like, well, like later on we'll say in season 4 when somebody is found out about Buffy and they're like, oh, we know have you ever heard of the Slayer? And they're like, oh, it's like a boogeyman that little demon or demons tell their little ones that's like, ooh, the Slayer's gonna come get you because they don't even know what it is, which we will
Well,
talk about.
right. And then in their mind, the monsters' minds, they're the ones who go bump in the dark. So what are they supposed to be afraid of? Well, they got their own boogeyman.
And that also segues into the next morning of them in the library and talking with Giles, and Xander and Willow are basically given a crash course in understanding who Buffy is, what it means to be, and that basically Buffy's Slayer don't tell anybody. Like we all will work together. Um, Willow's more in shock than Xander.
Right.
Xander's like, let's go. It's like, we got to save Jesse. It's like, you can't just go. Like, we need to have an idea where they go, and where they are in Sunnydale.
Hmm.
So, and then that's when Buffy figures out that the entrance to where the master might be is through the mausoleum that Luke came out of when he
But
grabbed her by the neck because he came from behind. She was facing the door.
right. But the only reason why she finds out is because Willow shows us what she can do.
That's
She is a
hacker.
sort of virtuoso type hacker too, like
Yeah.
And then also in that scene in the library, Giles not only introduces them to Buffy and her existence and what she really does, but that's when we start to get some of the mythos of the Buffyverse. Like I said, how vampires are demon human hybrids. Where did the demons come from? What were they called? Why
Yeah.
are they here? Etc. Etc.
So yeah, so they figure out through Willow's hacking and such forth that um the entrance to the it's the electric tunnels. It's actually not it's sewers, but it's electric tunnels.
Right.
And she's going to go save Jesse because he's a potential friend.
Hmm.
So she leaves to go do that, and that's where she first runs into, or second time she runs into Angel, and he warns her not to go. He then finally, for the first time, tells her his name, which she says pretty. And then she kicks the mausoleum door open because it's chained, which I always never understood because sometimes she can like really rip into something, and then sometimes she's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I hated that kind of inconsistency.
Like you just kicked open, like you just kicked chains off of a steel door, or when she is, having to pull down metal, or it's like, and then she goes like something else and she can't even open it. I'm like, how?
I wonder if like her powers are kind of like Well, they never said this, but like, what if it's like attached to the phases of the moon or something? Like, only certain times she's really powerful and capable, and certain times she's not.
I think it's all encompassing. Like I don't think it's that. It'd be a
Mm,
cool concept.
I think so too.
But it
Well, because they
only,
would make sense, because like full moon's werewolves, right? So
yeah,
you'd
but
be
it
super
only,
powerful during the full moon.
but it only coincides when for werewolves. Then what if she's fighting a vampire and she's not at full? She's always at full Slayer strength, unless obviously being like beat the hell out of, like in season 7 by
Yeah,
numerous things. But I don't think that's the thing. I think her power, like, well, she gets stronger as she ages too.
yeah. Well,
So
My Billy rewrite is that she is powerful only during the full moon, and she has to find more cost-effective ways to fight demons in the
there you
meantime.
go. Right off a new Buffy verse, and it's by the phases of the moon that her strength is. Is another. It's just another a new mythos
Right.
to the Buffy or to a Slayer, but it's a whole different universe.
But the same thing goes for like the monsters too. Like they're at their top strength during that time as well.
That's what you like, we got a whole new.
On
But
this episode, where Billy rewrites TV shows.
please don't do that. I yell at people at Facebook groups about
I
doing.
know. I'm over here doing your greatest sin.
Make your own show.
I know. I would. Oh my God.
Just call it phases.
Fate. That would be kind of cool.
That's actually an episode.
Oh, is it?
It's the one where we find out about Oz.
Oh, yeah. You don't know who Oz is. You didn't hear him say anything about Oz. Don't think about
Oswald.
Oz. Do not Google Oz.
Oz.
Anyways. Anyways.
It's so wickedly funny.
uh, uh,
Uh,
uh.
you see what I did there? I made a pun.
You're stupid.
Shut up. So anyway, so we go back to the high school, and after we see Willow in the computer lab,
Hmm.
and that's like one of your favorite scenes.
Oh my God, yes.
Finally, the nightmare ends.
And then that guy,
Yeah. She's like,
he's like, he knows, what's her deal?
yeah, man. Like,
What's up
whoa,
with her?
whoa, whoa. No, it's Cordelia's. Cordelia, and that's where we see Mercedes McNabb
Mhm.
and the dude. They're in the computer room and they're trying to do some kind of system. I don't
Wait,
know.
pause. Oh my gosh, I just had a weird thought. Was that the same guy who's with what was one of the group with Sunday? Is he one of
No,
the?
no, no. That
Oh,
guy had
okay.
a much rounder face and blonde hair.
Okay. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, did I just realize something? No, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Never mind.
Totally. Dude, the guy had blonde hair and blue. He played in Charm too. When they were hunting down Balthazar, and Cole gave him the jacket in the alleyway, and the bounty hunter thought he was
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Look
my
at
memory.
you. I know. See, this is why you're on the podcast. That's the only reason.
No, for entertainment purposes only.
Yep.
Do not.
Anyways. Anyways.
So she's sitting there, and Cordelia's talking about what happened at the Bronze when Buffy was looking for Willow when she was with with Thomas. She had
Yes.
been in the back alley or the back rooms by the bathrooms, and Cordelia was coming out. Buffy had a stake, and she turned on Cordelia quickly because she was being a slayer, and had Cordelia by the neck and a stake because she thought it was an instant type thing.
Mm.
Which also goes to show that Buffy's reflexes are like that, where somebody else is in season 3 or not. Anyways, um, so Cordelia was like, what's your childhood trauma and all this other stuff, and Buffy's like, have you seen Willow? She's like, no, you gotta chase her around with a stick, and so Buffy takes off to go do what we already talked about. So now Cordelia is sitting in the computer lab. She's doing it's some kind of system. I
They're
don't know.
teaching them coding.
Yeah, it was something. It was
Yeah.
early days of coding, but and
Yeah.
Mercedes McNabb is next to her, and she's like, "Are you going out tonight?" She's like, "No, we're going to the other cool place in Sunnydale." So of course we are. It's Friday night, no cover, da da da. So they're going to go back to the Bronze, and she's like, "But you should have been there last night because that new girl Buffy attacked me with a stick, and they're like, what's her deal? And she's like,
What's her deal?
yeah. And that's when the guy comes out, hell. And she's like, Buffy, that new girl. She's like, what's her deal?
What's her deal?
She's like, well, from her last school, booted. It's like, and Cordelia's like, doesn't surprise me. And so they're still typing away, whatever. And they're like, what's she doing? Talking about Willow. And
Doesn't
she's
she
like,
make a comment? She's like, this is what nerds are
nerds
for.
are for.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's she doing? She's like, oh, she's doing something else. Because Willow's already done and is working on, and this is after Google started, right? 97, 94 is when Google came out.
Gonna do a quick Google search. Let me find out. Hold on. Let's see. It was 1998, September 4th.
So before Google.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which means that
she was using Netgear or
yeah,
Netscape or whatever the hell it was called. Whatever she was using is before Ask Jeeves and all that stuff. So it was like either like Netscape or
that's crazy to think that we were both alive before there was even a Google.
Yeah, I'm older than Google.
Yeah.
So she's looking at like stuff to pertain towards the harvest. So earthquakes, rain of toads, whatever. And so Cordelia starts smarting off about Buffy, and so Willow defends Buffy, and Cordelia's like, who gave you permission to exist? And so Willow, getting back at her, she's like, so Cordelia is like, we're done. I'm done. Yay, I'm finally done with this crap that I don't want to do, that I'll never apply this. And she's like, now what? And Willow goes, deliver. Deliver, what's that? She clicks because keyboards used to say DEL. Maybe some of them still do. And she clicks the delete button and deletes all of Cordelia's work. And that's the end of that part, because it was the greatest comeback for a nerd.
Real quick, when you said that I'll never have to use that is the public school experience. There are so many things that you learn in school that you really never actually have to use.
Never.
Ever.
Like, I was like, I could have taken like more home ec classes. Like, let's be honest.
I would have loved, like, we're gonna do Roseanne eventually too, obviously. But how Darlene goes to a writing school.
Yes.
I would have loved to go to a writing school. Oh my gosh. If I could have just skipped all that crap and went to a writing school, this would be a whole other ball game. That's all I had to do was write and learn about writing, talk about writing and the theory of writing and the structure of writing. Oh my gosh.
So you want to do writing?
Yeah, I want to write. But then it's like, oh, but you use algebra to pay your bills. I'm not aware that I'm using algebra to pay my bills. I don't care. I don't care that I'm using algebra to pay my bills. Clearly, I can pay my bills without knowing that I'm using algebra to do it.
But honestly, you don't use algebra to pay your bills, because it's like, that's the amount. This is what I have, and I subtract from what I have. That's business math.
Well, I was going to say that. I thought that was like basic arithmetic, but
it is.
Whatever. Anyways.
You chose books. I chose looks. I have a semi-nice house. I have no husband. While you're over here teaching 10-year-olds the ABCs, you want to talk about college. Anyways, so we see Buffy, she goes to find Jesse, and magically Mr. Xander, like normal, does not listen when Buffy says stay away.
He's an unwanted tag along.
So she starts to describe to him about different ways to kill vampires. She talks about having to, and I guess it would be back in Henry in LA, she had to take down a football player with a little X-Acto knife, and the man had a really thick neck, whatever. So they do find Jesse, try to find their way out, only to find out that Jesse is now a vampire.
He's a member of the undead. And he does, and they find him because he's actually in the middle of playing a character in a trap, because they're trying to trap them.
They're trying to get them to bring them to the master.
Yeah. Exactly. So he's already playing his part on the opposing team, and they're not aware of it yet. But
yeah, the whole thing was a complete trap.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know what he wants. I'll bring it to you. I could smell the worms in the earth and hear. It's like, really?
That's what I would say if I
And
got the dark gift.
all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, now you fit a dustpan.
You're so stupid.
Does it suck?
Does it suck? You're dumb.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. But yeah, but they get trapped in this like little thing, and they like they're in the tunnel, so therefore it's like a utility, not necessarily a closet, but like a room where like there's valves of something. They don't really tell you what it is.
No.
They barely get out. They escape through the
It's a vent leading to above ground, and it's like they come out of a manhole.
kind of sort of, yeah. It's like
Ooh,
going through the
manhole.
uh, yeah.
Don't you think that's a sexy word?
Manhole.
Manhole. We're all about the Anna Faris references tonight.
Oh no, we love her though.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
What?
Should I send you a meme that everybody said is that scene? And they're like, anybody ever like sitting somewhere they're calling somebody, they always go, Chris, Chris.
We do that.
I was like, I already know, like, who took my meme? That's my meme.
No, she goes, I'm busy. And she goes,
I'm busy, you big dick. No, you stupid dick.
Yes. And then he goes over there and she fucking
She's like, what the hell?
his.
No,
She
what the hell was that all about, huh?
she slams him on the balls. He goes, meow.
What's that all about, huh? Just talking to old friends. I can be an old friend. Yeah.
Meow, meow.
God, I love her. We should
Oh
do
my God.
like a month of Anna Faris. Like just pick like a few things.
We should.
Love her. We should do
She's-
Mother.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, I
We
have
get
to.
two awesome women in there.
Well, yes, but I'll have to rewatch because I've tried to.
Same.
I tried to get into it twice, and it wasn't bad. It's just I'm like psychologically opposed to sitcoms for some reason.
Yeah,
There's something
You
about
are.
sitcoms that I'm just
I
like,
could watch.
this is so tedious and repetitive.
Well, you gotta think also they came on once a week, and we're
Yeah.
sitting, once you start to binge it, you're like, okay, this is like I get that
It's
way.
the same.
Like
Yeah,
watching it too much.
yeah, that's true. You're right, and that's why that's usually a kind of comfort show. Well, but I can't say that because Roseanne's technically a sitcom, isn't she?
Yeah, it is a sitcom.
But see,
But if we
Roseanne's
sat-
different though.
You can like watch a lot, and then it's still the same thing. You're like, okay, I've watched a lot, and
Yeah.
it's like meh.
Yeah,
But we used to only watch it once a week,
yeah.
so therefore it was like, oh, fresh, new, something different.
I wonder if the writers of shows like that were even aware that they were writing the same thing over and over again.
But that's also why we see with things like on Netflix stuff like that, it's only like 8 or 10 episodes
That's true.
because people binge.
Right. That's true.
Cannot wait for Handmaid's Tale though. But anyway, so Buffy and Xander escape. They get back to the library, and that's where they can tell Willow that Jesse is
Now a vampire.
gone. Because like that's because they're like, we can still say no, he's gone. That's when Giles finally tells him, and people need to understand there is no coming back from being a vampire.
So real quick, I don't think there is, but maybe I missed it. There was never a conversation about vampirism reversal in the show.
No.
Okay.
The only time they ever came up is later on with the prophecy that references to Angel.
Mm-hmm.
That is it, because he was, well, we can't say right now. We'll tell you when we talk about the episode Angel. Because we will be talking about that deeply, because it is a character building episode. So that episode
Right.
we really will be talking a lot of detail about, because it's a lot more. And yes, we will be pulling in from more information to that episode from stuff that we have learned throughout the season and of Angel, because we learned more. Not every detail, because we'll save that for later, but a lot of character building in that one.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, there is no bringing a vampire back to human self.
They're probably like considering how the world works. if they wanted to, they could write some sort of ritual.
They could, but
Yeah,
you also got to think it's like when you bring somebody back technically from the dead, do they come back normal?
right. That's true.
Do they come back to, because the soul has left, but everything else, like the memories are still there, but you technically are a dead body. You are walking dead technically. You don't
That's
have a
such a
because
that's
you
a
don't have a
fuzzy
heartbeat.
right. That's a fuzzy concept for me because I am of the opinion that your consciousness is your soul, and this is just me segue or what not segueing, but moving to a weird topic about the metaphysics of Buffy and real life stuff and whatever your personal opinions and beliefs are, that's yours. I'm just like
Not
from my point
ours.
of
It's
view, right? From my personal point of view, how I understand media and things of a supernatural nature. My personal understanding is that your consciousness and your soul are the same thing. So the idea of that um, a person
well, it's
could,
like like going off that. The saying real quick
Mhm.
is with being a vampire, there's no human connection because you're like they look at humans as food.
So I
So
guess it's like because like okay,
no empathy.
right,
There's no empathy.
right. So like Darla, for example, um, but see that's the trick. That's the trick of vampires in this world, I guess.
Also, like what you guys say, like also with being a vampire, you kind of like Call Me Chris and Caleb were talking. They said something on their show off subject. Well, it's like this. He talks about free will, and she's like, everybody has free will, and he's like, all right, then go. I want you. He's like, if you have free will, stab me right now. She's like, but I'm not going to. She's like, but you have free. Like, if you had free will, you could just do it and go.
Hmm.
Vampires kind of have that. They have true free will because they're actually, if like you're a vampire, you're like snap his neck. If the master said snap your neck, they're gonna go and snap the neck. They don't think about it. They don't care. They just do. If they were human, they would
I guess
have
what it is for
they would
me,
have a conscience.
yeah, I guess what it is for me is
Emotions.
that when you think about every time Buffy has ever spoken to a vampire in this series, she's not talking to the person that used to be. She's literally just talking to the demon. That's what it
Because
is,
she knows there's this and this. Like we are
right?
humans, they are a demon. Like that's I mean it's part of Slayer training.
Right.
Because Xander, for like we find out later on that he thinks he's going to try to convince Jesse. He's like, "Come on, man, we're buds, we're friends." He did that also before they got when they were in the trap. He's like, "Jesse, come on, we're buds, we've been friends, ever." Da da da. It's just like you're a shadow to me now.
Right.
There's no human connection. The only difference is with Angel, which we'll get to, is Angel is different.
Right. But so I was just doing a quick Google search really quick because I couldn't remember the name of the old one that was responsible for the vampire species, I guess you could say. Malocur. So basically, whenever
They never
besides
say his
Angel,
name of the show.
right. Besides that name probably was used in the comics at one point. But whenever Buffy is having a conversation with any vampire in the series besides Angel, she's actually talking to Malocur, who's masquerading as the person that used to be,
Because
you know,
remember we said before, the face you see is their disguise. The
right?
vampire face is their real face. They use human bodies to disguise their vampirism, unless they walk out into the middle of the sun. Then they're barbecue. But so they figure out
Oh, sorry, I'm reading. I'm sorry, I'm reading while you're talking. So just to give more vampire lore. So according to Rupert Giles, before departing Earth, the last of the old ones mixed his blood with humans, thus creating the first vampire.
yes,
Malachur, the old one, responsible for starting the first vampire, was eventually sealed within the deeper well, which you can find out about later on. When Xander briefly tapped into Melchior's memories, which is something that happened in one of the later stories, he became aware of time when magic-wielding early humans were busily driving the old ones into the deeper well. Fearful that his time was up, Melchior sought to raise an army using his vampiric bite on a human. The old one was responsible for the creation of vampires, but extra-dimensional demons were responsible for the essence that would enter their body and animate them. The demon lord Archaeus, for example, was the one who inhabited the master's bloodline. So, okay, this is weird to comprehend. Sorry. So the old one, Melkor created vampires, but other demons can create vampires too?
Pride demon possession of some sort. Like Anya says, everything on Earth is a hybrid. Somewhere in some way, they're not full demon.
I see.
Sorry, I brought up Anya, but that's
So, yeah. So basically, demons can create. Oh, so then that means that demons could essentially create their own breed of vampire.
to a point. Yes.
So that, right, because we got the Turakan and we've got,
Well, Turrican is what they claim to be like the Neanderthal of vampires.
but they're demonstrably different than vampires, the modern vampires, which means that the modern vampires are probably of a different demon.
Bloodline.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Yeah, the Turrican is what they are Neanderthals to modern vampires, is what they say in the show.
So Turakan was probably more direct connection to Melkor, while
Yes.
the more modern vampire is probably closer to this demon lord
But you got
Archaeus.
I don't want to say this out loud. Remember, we see the first Slayer
Yeah.
eventually, and
Yeah.
she is very cave woman.
Like her Homo sapien, like early Homo sapien, like no Cro-Magnon.
Yeah,
Early Cro-Magnon.
she's very cave
Yeah.
woman. She doesn't even speak. Well, she speaks through spirit guides because she has to. But technically, her breed of people, or I guess the best way to say it, like the ancientness of the bloodline of that bloodline of people, human existence, had no speech. They grunted and everything else. Like they didn't use speech. But I think her name is Sienna. I have to look it up. The first Slayer, but she is very cave woman.
Okay, so I was right. Archaeus was a demon lord who developed his own bloodline of vampires, thus he was considered cunning given to strategy and planning. So Melkor wasn't exclusively the only one able to create vampires. He's just the first one who did it.
Okay.
Yeah. This is really interesting, though.
We're getting way off topic.
I know. Well, it's because we started talking about one thing, and then all of a sudden my brain's like, I need to find the answer to all this other stuff. Okay, so reeling back into the episode.
So now they have figured out that the bronze is probably where they're gonna go. They get back to the library, which can I say, like Xander's pissed off. I hate vampires. Like whatever.
He's jealous.
Anyway. But like Willow's like, at least you guys are alive.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's like no emotion. Like nobody's crying. And then it's like, okay, he died. Next. I'm like, damn. I guess.
And you know what? And I hate that too, because I liked Jesse. I liked his character. I thought he was more cunning and useful than Xander. And I feel like they had to kill him off because he was going to surpass Xander. And they needed Xander. Joss made a personal connection to Xander, and he needed himself to basically be in the show.
Because he portrayed Xander as him. Like, he is Xander.
But I will say Jesse makes an excellent vampire.
He did. But now he's nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So Buffy decided, like, they're going to leave. They're heading out. And she's like, I decided I can stop at home. And they're like, for what? And she's like, supplies. Which I'm like, again, that little part is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that. Because it's like, you're in the library. That
closet.
Yeah, the book, the secure bookcase is filled with shit. Like, you don't gotta go home, girl. You just pack. And Giles should have. He has his bag.
Well, she goes to her house, and like she goes to this chest, and it's supposed to be like her weapons trunk. Sorry. It's got this false plate on top with like, normal teenage paraphernalia. And then underneath is like stakes, crosses, holy water,
communion wafer.
Right. And it's like, but that little arsenal she has in her bedroom is nothing compared to what's at the freaking library. Why would you go home for all that?
Yeah. And then her mom tries to stop her, and she's like, I have to go.
Mm-hmm.
So she does escape. I call it escape. That's what I used to do. She gets out of her house without her mom knowing,
Mm-hmm.
and they make their way to the bronze. And that's the part we get in. She gets to the door, and like, can't you kick it in? She's like, nothing that hard. I'm like, you just kicked open a gate with chains. You peeled off the vent in the little closet to get out of the underground
Mm-hmm.
tunnels, but you can't kick the flimsy freaking door at the bronze open.
Not to mention the other stuff she does later on in the series.
Yeah. I'm like, excuse me. So she makes her way to the roof access, which I'm like, how easy is that? If you, I'm like, how did she get in there that easy? But she then enters into the bronze, the upper parts, and this is where we see has Luke, Darla, and the gang of vampires has entered, and Luke is giving his little speech, saying that this is a gift to them. These people, these humans, become basically energy for the master to escape. And uh Cordelia is with Jesse, and Darla takes Cordelia away from him, and that's when Buffy enters. And Luke, as you see, listen to our opening of this episode, that scene where he's like, I'd hope you come. She's like, did you think I'd miss this? Like, hello, like this is my job, you
Right?
toad mouth motherfucker. I need another. Okay, Thor. And so she gets this whole little spiel. You get to see her do little acrobats, and then she pulls it. My favorite part of that whole thing is when she like flips down, has the pull cue. She flips over a pull cue, picks it up, and goes and stakes a vampire off scene with the pull cue.
But is someone holding it and then eventually like
Yeah, she's like, and you go. She's like,
Oh, one thing also, sorry, one thing to note about Luke's appearance is that he's got this little mark on his head.
yeah, he is the vessel. The master has made him the vessel, which means basically any blood you take in will give the master the power to break through the barrier of where he's at, because he is trapped within
The temple.
his house of worship.
Yeah.
The
And
cat, it's
Luke play or basically acts as the proxy of the
Yeah.
master. So
Yeah. So they do all that, and so Buffy is going to confront Luke while the others break in through the back door, and Xander confronts. We got Jess. Tries to make him convinced that he could be good. It's like
you're my friend.
he's like, you're beneath me.
Well, so
And-
since we've established that it's not Melkor who has the progenitor of all vampires, Xander is actually talking to Archaeus, basically. He's talking to the demon Archaeus. So
So Buffy starts to, do her, which is my favorite thing, is her sarcastic wit. It is based like, it has literally built my whole entire existence.
yeah.
Sarcastic wit. Most people don't understand it, or it takes them a very long time to get it. But 95% of the shit that comes out of my mouth is sarcasm.
Or you meet me, who just pops off anyway, regardless.
I'm just like, hi. So Buffy taunts Luke. They go into a fight, and my favorite scene at the end of that is when she picks up, well, two parts. Xander is being attacked by a vampire. She throws a symbol at this vampire's head, talking about beheading, and chops the vampire's head off. She finds it comical, and Luke comes up behind her and grabs her, and it's like, Master, taste this and be free. And Buffy's like, headbutts her from behind, and she's like, how'd it taste? And
My
then
little brother did it to me when I was a kid once. Gave me a fat lip.
And then she picks up a.
I love how you're like moving on.
We're not talking about you. Okay. I'm so sorry that happened to you. She picks up a. I would guess it's the symbol that she took off the band or the drum set. It's the same stand. I would assume she took it off because it has nothing on it.
Yeah.
And Luke makes the stupid freaking comment, "You forgot. Metal cannot hurt me." And she's like, "Something you forgot about too. Sunrise." And she chucks it through a window, and there's a yellow light that comes through. And of course, Luke is a moron.
He's like, oh, sunlight.
I'm like, have you really been here for 12 hours here, Lukey? I don't think so,
Mm-hmm.
dumbass. And he's faked out for a second, and she comes up behind him with a stake and stakes him from behind into the heart. And she's like, it's in about 9 hours, moron.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns to dust, which also cuts the master off from being. He almost got through because it
Yes.
shows him like, and because Luke goes poof. The master is stuck, and he cries like a little bitch. Oh. Xander also killed Jess by
Oh
accident.
yeah.
By
I love this scene because this face is used for the episode art for this podcast. It's him. He's getting ready to bite Cordelia because she's kind of like she gets a little hot for him when he shows up and like forcibly makes her dance with
vampire
her.
pheromones.
Right. So he wants to turn her into a vampire, actually. Is what he wants to do. He thinks like, I'm gonna transform you into a vampire and we're gonna be vampire boyfriend girlfriend.
She'll love me now.
Right. But as we discussed a while ago, wow, vampirism in this universe makes your passions a lot more passionate, I guess. And if he thinks that turning her into a vampire would make her want him, he's wrong. It would just make her hate him and be disgusted by him 1,000 times more. But there's like the scene where he's like turns to look at Xander because Xander calls him out, and he's got like this wolfish grin. And I don't know, like yeah, like
it's more it's like a jackal.
Yeah.
Very jackalish.
Jackal.
No, I said okay, this is our second recording because the first one we did.
Oh yeah. We did it. Okay, that was a really bad
tired.
day. I was so tired. Yeah.
But I said he looked like a panther or like he looked lion, he looked feline like Drusilla looked feline.
Yes.
But it was almost like
which would make sense because he comes from the same bloodline of vampires.
Yeah, because they all do. Angel. No. Oh no, for the master, it all comes down to the master. The master drew Starla.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Starla makes Angel. Angel makes Drusilla. They're all the
and the
same.
master made Drusilla.
Yeah.
Or not Drusilla, but Darla. Yeah.
That's why she says she was my favorite.
Yeah, we're giving you guys more information than we really should be right now. But yeah, that's basically the master's bloodline goes through all those
characters. We're giving you the teaser so you get excited for the next episode.
You know what we should do? We should look to see if any of the other vampires in the series have a connection to the master, and if they don't, see if they made like physical differences in the characters. Huh?
Nothing. I muted it for a second, so you.
Oh, okay. But we should see if there's any characteristic differences in if there's any differences in like the makeup or anything to see if they consciously kept up that difference or not. We should. Well, but see, okay, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
It'd be kind of hard because like they don't ever emphasize a lot of other. An angel they did with his angels. It's one that he removed his.
Yeah,
it's the guy who plays in the Marvel movies. His Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But then I also just realized that some of this information I just read off probably came from the comic book, so it would have something that happened after the show. Right. So it wouldn't have made a difference.
So, yeah. So, like, I think, like, Jesse has, like, it's almost like a panther.
Yeah.
Or like a very feline, but more masculine feline because Drusilla's obviously female.
Drusilla's also, like, incredibly skinny, too.
Well, so is he. He's very skinny, very angular at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say that Xander accidentally staked him, it's because somebody was running and bumped Jess into because Xander had to stake to him to protect himself.
And Jesse was basically like, "Come on, tough guy, make my day."
You don't have the gut, and that's when somebody bumps into
Yeah.
Jess. Which actually, if you look at the stake, it's not long enough to even puncture.
No.
And just a bump is not going to make that thing puncture into. Like if it was a blade or something, I can understand.
Also, the stake was like up.
Yeah, it was like
out.
upwards or
Yeah.
down. It was like down. Like I don't know. It was really weird. It was
It
like
was no. It looked like it was up, like morning wood up. Like
yeah. It wasn't like he was gonna like. It was in the proper position. Sorry, I'm very anal about the like when you watch the movie and sometimes she stakes him. It's like she stakes him through the diaphragm. I'm like that's
Mhm.
not even the heart. I'm very. I like a good staking.
Mhm.
So
Same.
like. I have my face stake, which is a nice, decent size of wood. And it has a point. I mean, this point, that's not like what Xander had. He had the
Yeah.
first season stake that had like this, like it was not circular, but dull. It looked dull. Like it wasn't a pointed stake.
Well, probably because they were actually hitting each other with them. That's why.
Probably styrofoam
Yeah.
of some kind. Because they did like the stake that I'm holding now, which I wish I could show. Maybe like later on, I could show if we do video, which is coming. This is the style of the stake it was, but
Yeah.
right here was like almost like those fake knives that springboard and spring inside when you're stabbing something, like a Halloween knife.
I'll take a picture of it, and after the episode is aired, like maybe a couple days
We'll
after,
put
I'll
it on
take.
the Instagram. Go to the
Yeah.
Instagram and you can see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You'll see what stake he's talking about.
If you ever watch Buffy when she has this style of stake, when like Sarah's walking around, she holds it right here because
Mhm.
right here was skinnier, and when she would go to stake them, it would spring inside, so it looked like she was staking, but obviously it's fake and not. You're not trying to kill somebody.
Oh yeah.
But if
Okay.
you ever watch her walk, she walks when she holds the stake, she holds it here
Mhm.
because right here was thinner, and so when you push it on somebody, it slid inside, so it looked kind of like when
Like
you
it
do
was going.
like when you do a mechanical pencil and you push
Yeah.
it to do the lead, like, oh, it's went inside my body. No,
I'm stabbing myself. Yeah.
but that's why this stake right here, this is how they came out with this style,
Mhm.
because when she would go to stake somebody, it looks like, oh, she's holding it, but she would hold it specifically a certain way so that when it hit, it looked like it was going in, but she'd get it looked like it was going in without
Mhm.
actually hurting somebody.
Mhm.
Just a little tidbit.
Little knowledge.
Yeah, I actually want one of those. If somebody can make me one out there in the universe, the trap door stake, I'd be chasing you around going, ah!
I'd be sitting there like making dinner or something, and then I feel thump. I'm like, quit fucking doing
Stop
that.
it!
Okay, leave me alone. Get out of
Leave me
here.
alone.
Why are you touching? And then you're like, why are you acting weird? I'm like,
Oh my
I'm
god,
not
you're so
acting
stupid. Stop it. Stop. I'm playing. Where's my play clothes?
You're stupid.
I remember the first time I said, I was like, put on your play clothes. You're like, what?
My what? My what?
Don't wear your good clothes out. Just put on some play clothes. Like my fucking mother.
I
Love her.
know. Well, that's why it was funny, because it was just like, who are you? Like, why are you saying this to me?
I'm a mom.
You wish.
Mom, I am a mom. I have 3 children.
Hmm. Oh, also, we forgot to mention that there's a scene where Darla tries to bite Giles.
Yes, inside the Bronx. Go ahead.
So Darla is getting ready to bite Giles, and Willow pops up out of nowhere and pours a bunch of holy water on her,
On her
and
face. Her clothes on her face.
on her face, and all you see is just like her wig flying through the wind with smoke coming out of it. She's like, "Blah, blah," and I think it's the funniest part of the whole episode because she looks so funny. Because it's funny.
Is it?
It's very funny. I was like, oh, what's that? Never mind.
Soon to be merch.
So Buffy stakes Luke, and he's dead. And the Master now no longer has his connection or his energy to leave the temple. And then Angel says that when she stopped the harvest, he
Because
goes,
the other vampires are running away because she gives
Right.
her Buffy look that
right.
bitch come for me.
He goes, "I'll be damned," and that's how when everyone, including the bad guys, realize that Buffy's the real deal. She's genuinely the
Oh, we
Slayer.
have a threat.
Right.
There's a threat in town.
Boogie Woman's come to town.
So the ending part of the show is they are all convened back at school the next day. And this is
Hmm.
really when you get your first look at what they considered Scooby,
Yeah.
because Xander very much looks like Shag, and Buffy is styling in her knee-high boots, purple jacket, and she has a scarf in her hair.
She was
Something
basically
called
getting ready to become
Daff.
Daphne. Yeah,
Daff.
she's like, I've been training for this. This is why I get to be Daphne in the actual Scooby movies.
And then Willow looks like Velma, and Giles looks like a fetish, but like
Yeah,
bookish.
yeah.
You're like a textbook with arms. So, and then, he says his famous line for the first time: this world is doomed.
Yes. And then Buffy goes, probably. But then you also get the first hint of people of Sunnydale kind of ignoring the weirdness that goes on. Because
Rushing under the rug.
Right, Cordelia exemplifies the denial most Sunnydale residents undergo after paranormal encounters, as she tells a fellow student about the previous night.
It was
Eh,
gang related or PCP. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
that doesn't make people grow new teeth and a whole new face,
right.
and they
I've
don't drink
never
blood.
seen I've never seen drug addicts act that way.
Well,
So-
well, we've seen some crazies.
Well, that is true, but I don't know. I've never seen that.
They always end up at 7-Eleven.
Well, in my
Oh, I had
case,
that encounter. I had that encounter the other day
oh
on
really?
Thursday. This guy walks up to me out of nowhere at the 7-Eleven in Rockwall.
Uh-huh.
He's all like, I was in the car. I'm paying the bills. I was out of the dead zone.
Mhm.
So he's all like, "You good? You good?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Go, little mom." I'm like, and he's like, out there, like you can obviously see it. He's like doing his hands and all stuff. I'm like, "Oh God,
Tweaking.
oh yeah."
Yeah.
And he's like asking random people and everything else, like right there. I'm like,
I have not seen that since I left California.
that was the first time I ever seen that there.
Because when I lived in California, I mean, I worked on Olive and 99 in Fresno, and that was a really interesting place to work because you would see the sex workers, which nothing against sex workers. Some of my most interesting people I ever interacted with while working, I worked at a Motel 6 while working at the Motel 6 they were sex workers and they had the most interesting lives. They had really interesting reasons why they did what they did. But sometimes there would be those out there who would be doing it just so they could afford drugs. And they would be strung out while they were doing it and like they would just like wear as little clothing as possible. And I remember one time I was working a shift and there's this McDonald's across the street from the motel and this woman's walking and she she bends over and you see the whole menu right there.
The bat cave. You see the bat cave with the bats coming out.
You see the menu right there. Yeah.
Ugh.
She's so
That's like sushi from 7-Eleven.
you're dumb, okay?
That's not a pretty kitty.
No.
Well, I remember when you picked me up at the airport in Fresno. We were driving to get Subway in the most ghettoest Subway. Sorry, that thing was scary. I've
Mhm.
never seen a Subway so like not lit. It was so dark, and I'm like, we're gonna die. And there was like prostitutes just everywhere.
Sex workers. Sex workers.
Whatever.
Sex workers.
Sex workers. And I was like, wow, this really is out there.
Mhm.
Must be in California.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so
So are we doing another episode next week or are we not doing another episode next week?
um
I think we should wait till we come back from or you come back from your trip in January.
well then I think we should do Batman.
We could sub out and do Batman. I was actually gonna make a joke, be like, oh, we could just skip to like season 4 and do the Thanksgiving episode.
No, because there's too much that happens in between.
True. But it's the only Thanksgiving episode.
Mhm. We can do that episode when it happens.
I was thinking like a break, but okay.
Well, it's because I don't want there to be a long gap in between this and that. So
Well, everybody's gonna be busy. That's what I'm saying.
mm. We'll decide.
We'll discuss.
We'll discuss. Maybe we will. Maybe
Maybe we'll do like, oh, we could if we really wanted to push ourselves, like a 30 days of Christmas type situation.
oh, that'd be exhausting.
Every day we just record. Maybe not like a super long one. It could be like 30 minutes.
We'll see.
If you guys want us to do that, make a comment or let us know personally.
Yeah, and tell Will that it's called sex worker, not prostitute.
Prostitution.
Tell him that it's sex worker, not
It's
prostitute.
in the Bible.
Like the Bible means any relevancy here.
The Bible says. Bibbly bobbly boo. It's a bunch
But
of
anyways, so there's actually some interesting stuff about this episode. Like for the fact that the master's real name on the script for the episode is Heinrich Joseph Nest, which and it kind of hints at him being of German origin, although it's weird because when he goes to Sunnydale, it's during the conquistador times.
Well, he gets trapped in 1930 something. That's how he gets trapped. So it's 1932 when the earthquake happens. That's how he gets trapped inside that church.
I thought it was much earlier than that because they were talking about it being a mission.
Yeah. It's 19
When Spanish settlers.
when the I typed wrapped. When did the master get wrapped?
Yeah, because Giles says that it was Spanish settlers in a mission.
The church became the prison for the master since 1937 when an earthquake interrupted a ritual to open the Hellmouth. It caused a portion of the church and the master to become trapped within the invisible barrier. 1937.
Wonder if he was like, oh no, because he's been a vampire for a very long time. Never mind.
Yeah, he's been forever. Because Darla, like Angel, is like 240 years old.
Yeah.
Which makes and Darla's like way older than him, like at least 400 or 500 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then so the master is even more so older than her. Like he's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he got trapped in 1937 in the earthquake. Because
that explains that.
I think Willow even talks about it briefly about the earthquake. That's why she was looking up earthquakes, because he was trying to do the ritual. I think maybe the one that comes up in season 4 when after those 3 demons, they collect the 3 things and have the sacrifice, and that person uses that thin tiny rope to save Buffy that doesn't actually in reality would ever work. It might have been like that ritual, like he was trying to open the seal of Danzavar, I think that's what it's called. So I think that's the thing he was trying to do, but there was an earthquake. That's why when in the last episode, Prophecy Girl, there's an earthquake, and he goes, yes! It's the same situation. Earthquakes are some very big symbolism in Buffy. Buffy does not like earthquakes.
She sure doesn't. Well, here's another interesting fact. Joss Whedon noted in the commentary of this episode that he felt horrible giving Eric Balfour, who plays Jesse, so many lines with S's in them. If you watch the episode, you'll hear how funny it sounds like when he talks, which he had to recite with the vamp face. He had such a difficult time getting the lines out around the prosthetics that new ones were designed for vampire characters required to speak frequently. The older style ones were given to the vampire lackeys with few or no lines in the future episodes, which is true because, like, if you listen to the Master talk or Darla talk when they have their vamp face on, they talk like this with their teeth in their mouth.
But they have dentures.
Right.
Loose dentures. I guess they must have got it fixed before the episode Angel.
Yes.
Yeah, they had to.
And like when we talk about Sunday, when you see Sunday when she talks, there's no problem. There's no obstruction in her
she's
dialogue.
Like, I'm Sunday, and I'll be kicking your ass right now. Like she doesn't have any issue.
Right, full vamp. Yeah. And then also, we didn't hope to include actor Eric Belfort in the title credits to shock viewers when his character dies. Unfortunately, the show could not afford the extra set of title credits at the time, which is weird to me,
So
but you explained to
stupid.
me, yeah, you explained to me that it's probably because the film was on an actual film strip, and to add it would have costed a bunch of money. So,
Stupid.
and then lastly, 16-year-old Mercedes McNabb, Harmony, and 19-year-old Sarah,
Harmony. Harmony.
and then 19-year-old Sarah Michelle Gellar were the only two cast members to be actual teenagers at the time this episode was filmed in 1996.
Besides Giles, did you know that Allison Hannigan was the eldest of all of them?
How old was she?
She was in like almost her mid-20s.
Really?
I think so. Hold on. I'll make sure. But yeah,
Google.
she was, I think, um, I would, what, oh, hold on. How old was Allison Hannigan? She was 22.
Okay.
So, and Giles was 40, or Anthony was 43.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then Angel was like 19.
David, I think he
Yeah.
was 20 something
Oh, was he? Oh, okay.
old.
He looked very young.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
very young.
Let me see. Um, I think he was say like maybe um okay, so wrong. He was 28.
David?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think that's what's okay. Would have
If
been
that's
20,
true, then he aged really well because he looked so young.
Mediterranean jeans, babe. Yeah. Okay, so David, when it how old was
Greek, don't Greek.
Italian? Med,
Well,
David Boreanaz at the start of Buffy, he was 28. Charisma was 27. Um, why do they say that Alice? I watched the whole thing. They were like Allison was maybe they meant like the immediate Scoobies
probably.
because Angel's not really a Scooby.
No.
So Sarah was 19, Allison was 23, Xander was 26. 30 or James Masters, who plays Spike, was
Mhm.
35. When in season 2 he was 35. It's been almost 30 years. It means he's almost 70 years old.
That's crazy.
That man does not even look 70. Like,
No.
yes, David was 28, Charisma was 27, Rupert Anthony was 43, and Oz, who's Seth Green, was 23 years old.
Mm,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Spike was 117 when he first came on, and they said Angel when he started was 270. That's not true. They even said it multiple times. I have a 240-year-old boyfriend in season 2.
Whoever wrote this is probably on the Facebook groups.
You're freaking stupid.
Oh Lord. Well,
My
anyways,
boyfriend had a bicentennial.
bicentennial. That wraps up our coverage of season 1, episode 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Finally, the nightmare ends.
I would say next week we'll be covering season 1, episode 3, which I think is a very important episode. So maybe we will,
I
maybe we
don't.
won't.
I don't think it's that important. It's like
I do.
what you're talking about is like a very small piece. I get it. But we also said this episode, the reason we're going to do it is because you can relate to the topic
But
of.
hold on though, because it introduces some important characters who play roles later on in the series.
Barely.
No, because this person who I'm referring to has a big to do with the character arc for Willow. You're lucky you're in another room. I would slap you right now.
She turned whatever. She's a rat.
You're a rat.
But anyways, but you can reference, there's parts in that we discussed that you can actually, for your own self, like me with the episode Ted, you can reference parts of this having
hits home.
having a very overbearing mother. Well, not bearing, I guess, just a psychotic mother.
Yep.
And we're allowed to say that because he does have.
I do. I really do. But anyways, as much as we appreciate all your support, I know you will get a kick out of Becky Anderson's podcast, What's On Tonight, where she covers season 6 of What We Do in the Shadows for more undead amusement. This can be found on Spotify, YouTube, Podcast Addict, Deezer, Podchaser, and a bunch more. Just look under Pirate Core Entertainment. You can also hear me and Becky on various podcasts on Adrenaline Cinema Podcasts, also found in the aforementioned sites. The next season of The Witching Hour is coming out soon, and we will be covering it on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast, I think.
It's January 5th.
Yes. So you'll be hearing me there as well, hopefully with the original people who did the episodes for the Mayfair Witches. Maybe not. I hear one of them is going to turn her head and puke pea soup if she has to watch another one of those episodes. But
I do
it. And then also, don't forget to check out things by my good buddy Mark Kirkman, who literally made this podcast even possible.
Yes, sir.
The Slay Lounge podcast can also be found on the sites listed, YouTube Podcasts, Addict, etc., etc., etc. And also, we're trying to get access to Apple. So if you would like to give feedback, we have an email address and an Instagram. You can email us at theslayloungepodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at the Slay Lounge Podcast. Again, I'm Billy with an IE.
I'm Will.
If the apocalypse comes, beat me